Hello, my name is John Smithin, and I'm the Executive Co-Director and a Fellow at the Aurora Philosophy Institute, the API, here in Aurora, Ontario. With me is one of our active members, Jana Tuscher. Hi, Jana. Um, on the 10th of April 2021, our friend and colleague Ronen Grunberg gave a very interesting talk to the API on Epicureanism. Several of our members who are philosophy majors remarked this is a topic that is rarely, if ever, covered in university courses on philosophy. Listening to Ronen, I am convinced that it should be. Now, Jana tells me that she did study Epicureanism in university, but I think that was part of a history course, if I'm not mistaken, rather than philosophy as such. Is that right, Jana?
Yes, Professor, it definitely is. I was surprised. I have taken a philosophy course, and this was at York University. It was more like a first, second year level that I've taken up to, and it wasn't covered in depth. It was just briefly introduced. But
Mhm.
where I have studied it in depth, it was under the classical history in the Department of Humanities. It was under an excellent professor, Professor Paul Sworney. So it was like, taken up when I did in-depth studies of Rome, ancient Rome and classical Greece. It was most enjoyable. So that's where we touched upon it.
Yeah, excellent. York
And
University, Professor Swaney is my colleague, of course. I'm Professor Emeritus at York as well. So that's a very fine university that.
I think it's the best. I know I truly,
I think
truly,
so.
yes, enjoyed my time there.
Anyhow, the Ronan's talk, Ronan, by the way, is also a graduate of that self-same university. Yeah, York University as well. Anyway, his talk is available on our API YouTube channel and also on the API website at www.theapi.ca. What I would like to do is to comment on where the Epicureans actually stood on the fundamental metaphysical issue in philosophy between realism and idealism. From what Ronan has said, the Epicureans seem clearly to have been on the side of realism, and obviously far more so than Plato, Descartes, Kant, Hegel, etc. And I think to some extent, maybe even more so than the supposed arch-realist Aristotle, at least as far as Aristotle's theory of forms is concerned. Well, that's the positive side of their metaphysical approach. But they seem to me to have been in error in two ways. A, in espousing dualism, and B, in construing realism purely as materialism, in the style of the Greek atomists, hope I pronounce these rightly, Democritus and Leucippus. Now, it is true that in philosophical dictionaries and similar sources, idealism and materialism are often what is posited as opposites. But this is false. Both of them actually reject or are inconsistent with one or other of the three basic axioms underlying metaphysics, namely existence, identity, and consciousness. Idealism rejects the primacy of existence, whereas materialism effectively rejects consciousness. The true divide in philosophy is between idealism and realism. For example, social facts, which are determined by collective intentionality and hence consciousness, are immaterial but real. Moreover, they can and do have a causal effect on the material world. Money is an obvious example. There is therefore a realm which is not material but nonetheless real. However, it is neither spiritual nor supernatural. Um, I imagine that Jana might disagree with me on that point, but we'll leave that to later. The ontology of the social world is clearly different in many ways from that of the physical or natural world. but they are still both part of the same world of existence, and they must be consistent with one another. There can't be two worlds, there can't be dualism. There is no room for dualism. A corollary of that view is that the scientific method is not restricted to the physical sciences. It is possible also in social science. It will take a different form, but can nonetheless be genuinely scientific. So that's my take on it. Anyhow, the next two presentations in our Tuesday Night Philosophy Club series will follow up on some of the themes brought out by Ronen in the discussion about Epicurus. They're following on almost from it. On the 27th of April, Sherman Balog will discuss the so-called critical realism of the Canadian Catholic philosopher Bernard Lonergan. And so that's taking up one of the issues to do with realism. Another issue that concerned the Epicureans was the role of language in shaping or perhaps distorting the way in which we perceive in reality. So on the 26th of May, Graham Hubbs will be discussing the work of the famous 20th century philosopher Elizabeth Anscombe, an associate of Wittgenstein, who of course was concerned with precisely this topic. So those are two forthcoming attractions, if you will. Now, if people want to attend and be participate in these talks, I mean, please do so. You can find all the necessary information at the website, as I say, www.theapi.ca. On that website are, contact numbers. And if you would like to be included in our presentations, obviously just drop us an email and you can attend. So I'll finish there, and Jana, what comments or do you have on the topic?
Well, first of all, I truly regret, deeply regret that I have not had a chance to see that wonderful presentation that Ronen gave on Epicureanism, because that is truly, truly like being back, in class and studying this in depth and thinking beyond, and really love the inspiration and wisdom that comes from this. These videos, luckily, you can see this again if you go on the website, as John has mentioned, and it's actually under the API videos. It's under that tab, so that's easy to find, and you look at it there. And I can definitely, I'm going to go there, and I advise you to go there as well, because I truly think they are really wonderful, very well-researched topics coming from truly like experts, who have devoted a lot of time to studying this. And so if you'd like to participate, please definitely go there or directly to the YouTube channel. And it will be really an experience you will enjoy. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Not to be ego.
Well, thanks, Jana. Yes. So are you interested in the two coming up, like with Sherman and Graham?
Absolutely, yes. And and further also, like a discussion of Epicureanism, and also like from a different vantage point. So I think all the videos have a very unique standpoint, and I think it's very important, that this club has been started to be able to share this knowledge, like especially from the classical world, so that we can bring it into a new light, and even with a modern vision. Yeah. I'm certainly looking very forward to seeing it.
Yeah, we're enjoying it. Yeah. We're enjoying it, and there've been a lot of.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I wouldn't miss it. And I truly hope that you will see it as well. Come join us.
Okay. So bye, everyone. Thanks, Jana.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye.